Welcome, Cancer and Cancer Cross Watchers, to your reading. So we have the Dragonfly reversed here for you, and your person is the Beaver and the Fire Ant. So, and then of course we do have the Nightingale at the bottom of the deck. So, Cancer, here's the thing. I actually feel like there's someone here that is, it feels like they come with baggage. Hang on. Let me flesh that out a little. Um, but it's not their baggage. It almost feels like there's, it's like, let's say you're going out to meet somebody and they're across the street, but there's like, a bar next to them before they cross the street and it's rowdy and there's a whole bunch of people outside and you're kind of like, yeah, I think I'm gonna just wait till they come over until they cross the street. It's that type of an energy. I mean, obviously that's not the actual case. If it is even for one person, it wouldn't be for everybody, right? It's just that type of energy. It feels like there's some sort of like, at first glance, it feels like it's a very chaotic energy around them. But I feel like if you look a little bit closer, that chaotic energy is actually what drives them. And not that chaos drives them necessarily. It feels more that it's like, it might look disorganized. It might look like it's all over the place, but there's a certain brilliance in the method to their madness. You know what I mean? And I feel like it goes missed by many people because this person might be a little eccentric, or maybe not. It doesn't feel quite like that. It feels more that they're a bit erratic. They may seem like they're skipping steps to other people, but it's actually just because they've already thought 4 or 5 steps ahead before they even started the conversation. It's that type of an energy. I feel like this person, they're very different. It's like they can be two things at this simultaneously, right? For example, if they kind of put forth this slow and steady, very determined sort of Taurusy energy, but then they might have really strong fire placements and they've got this whole other side to them that most people aren't privy to, or vice versa, right? Um, Maybe it's all the fire energy on the outside and then they have this kind of golden nugget inside, right? So it's either way, I feel like this person is a lot more than they appear at first glance. And what's interesting is that, I mean, you are Cancer, you guys are extraordinarily perceptive. Um, but it feels like for some reason that you may be kind of passing this person over. It feels like it might not really have anything to do with them. It almost feels like it's, the wrong time somehow. I feel like if it was any other time, you would be able to see all of that stuff that the cards were just talking about, how they're so multidimensional, this person. But for some reason, it feels like there's something here that's not quite, it's almost like it's off. And I feel like it feels like the type of energy where this person is trying to explain something to you that makes a lot of sense to them, that they know makes sense, but they know that the way that they're explaining it is not getting the right message across, right? It's like they're trying to explain how to mix red and blue to make purple, but they know that it's not making any sense. Almost like, to you, it sounds like they're telling you to mix red with red or something like that, right? It's just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like to a certain extent they may be used to people not understanding them, but I feel like they seem to, not an expectation, okay? Um, they feel more seen by you than by most. it feels like, it feels like the type of person, you know, when you meet somebody and you can tell that they've never really had anybody give a dang about them because these like smallest acts of kindness seem to really like touch their heart. You know what I mean? And they seem to respond. It's like they might have this really fiery, bubbly personality um, that seems almost kind of like unreachable, unbreakable type deal. But then when you show kind of like interest or kindness to them, it's like the walls just kind of come crumbling down because they're so not used to people being nice, right? They know what to do with other type of energy, but when someone's kind to them, it means so much. I'm going to be honest, it kind of feels like you may be feeling let me ask you a question. Do you feel like this person has all of their cards on the table? And as I say that, I realize that we are doing a reading with tarot cards, okay? Excuse me, I'm not trying to be heavy-handed or anything, or ironic. It just feels like to you, it's a very interesting energy. You're looking at this person like they have all of their cards on the table, and I feel like you may not realize that that's not the case with this person and other people. There's a certain, they just feel so comfortable around you. There's something about them that, like, let's say, for example, if they would walk into someone else's house to, you know, for a party, let's say, they won't even take their coat off when they get there because they're not going to be staying long, right? And it's like they come into your place and they're happy to be there. They want to be there. They're happy to see you. They hang their coat up at the door and they come in. It's that type of a thing. They want to be around you. And I feel like that may be why they're a bit more open with you than they are with other people. I feel like it's the type, this person may be, maybe it isn't that there's a certain closed offness about them or that they're keeping parts of themselves hidden. They just don't, it doesn't feel like it's, you know, necessarily intentional that they will appear this way to the world, but then they have all this gorgeousness underneath. I feel like it's more, they're not trying to protect themselves. It's just how they function. You know, sometimes when you're around somebody and they seem to have this certain type of personality, but then when it's like maybe there's a big group of people and they're really quiet, but then when they're around people that they're comfortable with, it's like you see this whole other um, side of them, and it kind of takes you by surprise, and you think, "Holy crap, this person's awesome!" It's that type of a thing, right? So let's dig into this a little bit here. What does Cancer need to know about this person? Okay. Throwing cards all over the place. We have the Page of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. I feel like they might be a little bit of a stinker. In that, let me explain that. I feel like there might be a certain unreliability to this person. They may kind of like enjoy getting someone's attention and then having that person pursue them. It does feel, I'm going to be honest, okay, it does feel almost like a little bit selfish. I feel like they may have had, going back to that same analogy where like they present in one way, but then they're actually like, there's a whole other side to them, right? And I feel like they're so used to surprising people with that I feel to a certain extent they may be used to being a little bit of the center of attention. So it does feel like there may be, it's not like they, you know, they have to be the center of attention or they feel like they always have to be, you know, on the top of, not the top of everyone's list, but it doesn't feel like it's selfish or self-centered or self-involved. Okay. It feels more that it's like there are certain parts of this person, about this person, that they know, that they feel are special. And if people don't appreciate them, those parts of them, um, they'll never get them again. And so I feel like there's a certain kind of energy of this person. It almost feels like there's something here that that they want to be honest. There's something about honesty here. One second, one second. It almost feels like they feel that they would be able to be honest with you about certain things. It feels like it's almost like, oh, they better not be coming and trying to trick you. That would not be a good idea. They may not. Okay, that's, please don't take that to heart or anything. It just feels like this person, I hope that they're not foolish enough to underestimate you. I really do. It doesn't feel that they are. I feel like they're underestimated a lot. And I feel like to a certain extent, because they're underestimated, and it's almost like, and they seem to be able to surpass other people's expectations so often that it's almost like they kind of think a lot of people are stupid. Not necessarily intelligence wise, but it's like they just don't give most people a lot of credit. It's almost like people might talk down to this person. And I feel like when that happens, this one, it's like they lose respect for that one. I hope I'm not talking in circles. It feels a little bit like that, but what is this person? What do they really want with Cancer? Okay, that's just me not knowing how to shuffle. One sec, guys. I know it's not an excuse. I should be able to, but this is actually quite a bit thicker. Most tarot decks are like, not quite this big. I mean, I've had it for forever. I still should be okay. Okay. So I'm going to describe a situation, and please take it as it resonates because it may not be the actual situation. So with that said, I feel like this person may come in. There may be a certain energy of them. Let's say, for example, they act like they want a romantic relationship with you. I don't actually feel like they may think that they want it. They may think they kind of want that cat and mouse sort of, dance, if you will. But I feel like what they actually need is a steady, consistent, undisruptive sort of presence. It's almost like this person might want something romantic, but what they actually need is a friend. And I feel like if this doesn't mean if you're in a relationship, what I'm about to say, it doesn't, if you're in a relationship with this person, it doesn't mean that they're just using you or taking advantage of you, okay? But it does feel to a certain extent that if this person was to get involved with someone right now, it's almost like they would toy with them. I feel like there's an energy that this person, it's almost like it's like if they're able to do that, or if they do it successfully, there's something, it's almost like they seem to fall back into old patterns, into old habits. Doesn't mean that they're always a game player or anything like that. It feels more that it's like that's something that's easy for this person to fall into because people are really dismissive of this person, and that puts them in a very interesting position because they're actually really quite intelligent. and they're able to see through people's BS a lot of the time. And it's almost like it feels like what they actually need is someone to see through that sort of stuff and to set up like some firm boundaries and teach this person how to treat somebody that they actually want. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this person is maybe they get into relationships with people that they don't really want, and then it turns into a bit of a game. And I feel like it does feel like this person is kind of coming out of that energy and they want something different. And I feel like that's why it almost feels like they have a bit of work to do, to be honest, before the romance part of it can be at play. If that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to pull two more cards. One is kind of like what do you need to know in the next little while, and what you can expect. So what does Cancer need to know? What does Cancer need to know? Oh, for heaven's sakes. I'm just going to make sure those are upright. Yeah. What does Cancer need to know? Just going to move the cards around a little bit. So we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Death card. Something's going to change. And it's almost kind of, it's like if this person was kind of mucking about somehow, all of a sudden they're going to sit up and take notice of something here. It's like all of a sudden they're going to see something that they really want. I almost want to say like, and you're going to see it too. I feel like you're going to be able to see through whatever facade this person puts up, and you're going to be able to see what it is that they actually want. I almost want to say like, and you, this might sound strange, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's like, you know that they're capable of it, and it's like you want them to have it, but I'm kind of getting this energy, but you don't want them to mess it up. I hope that makes sense. And what can Cancer expect? What can Cancer? For heaven's sakes. Excuse me, we have the Queen of Cups here with the Nine of Wands. I think, okay. Of course, I just want to put a disclaimer in here. Always follow your own intuition over anything I ever say ever. Okay, let's start there. What I'm seeing here, I feel like you actually may be defensive. I feel like you're going to be looking at this person trying to figure out, not trying to figure out, but it's almost like they're going to have to pass a couple of tests if they want to pass over this fence or through this fence. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's something here that may happen that it's like now they kind of have to prove to you that they want to, that they're going to behave themselves in order for you to let them in. if that makes sense. I think we're just going to pull one clarifier. I know it's already at 20 minutes. I'll be quick. Okay. Just going to make sure the deck's up right. Okay, we got one clarifier. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's the Nine of Wands. I almost want to say like 20-minute read to say, don't worry about it. Hold on. Just let me explain. I feel like there's a message here that regardless of what happens here and regardless of how this person conducts themselves, you know exactly what you're doing and you know who should and who shouldn't pass through those gates. And I feel like it's almost this energy of, you know, sometimes you know you shouldn't let somebody in, but you kind of want to anyway. I feel like there may be kind of that doubt or those questions swirling around in your mind. And I feel like there's a message here. It almost feels like you won't hesitate. And I feel like to a certain extent, even if you do let this person in, I feel like that you'll keep an eye on them for a while and make sure that you don't have to show them the door. So I think I'll leave it there, Cancer. I hope that this reading made sense. And if it resonated, I hope it was helpful. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.